Okay, so this is going to be a quickie video because this is kind of annoying the shit out of me. Now this is my 1995 Ford F-150. It is literally manufactured like 3 months before I was born, right? So that being said, it is giving me a bit of a problem. Well, a minor problem, but that's the air conditioning. AC last year worked just fine, refilled it, cooled me off nice and good. This year, however, when I went to start it a few months ago, all the refrigerant escaped out of what I think was my high side valve, right? Now, I began to pull this high side valve off, but I later discovered while taking it off that no valve fits this, or no socket fits this, and it uses a ball valve instead of a schrader valve. So instead of just taking the valve off and replacing the valve, I had to take this whole little piece off, and that was a pain in the ass. I'll show you a bit more closely what I ended up having to do. So if you see right here, this is where this valve goes in. This screws in right there, right? Nice and easily. So you would think that Ford, in their infinite wisdom, would make this part a like 15mm socket, since it's sitting right in between a 15 and 16 mil. No. I couldn't find any special service tool or anything like that, so what I ended up doing is having my dad hold on to here, putting a plier on, and just yanking the ever-living shit out of it, which worked. Earlier I tried to do it without my dad here. I did bend this line, so I'm a little nervous to see if this thing is leaking. I'm hoping it's not. And funny enough, I did buy a replacement Ford one, which did include this ball valve right here. This same kind of ball valve. If you look right here, you can see that this thing is neither a 15, a 10, or any kind of size that would make it easy to take off. And inside here, rather than it being a schrader valve, it is a little ball that presses in and out. So I looked up on the forum and the Facebook group, a guy named Ashok or Joey or Caleb or something, a really awesome guy on the Facebook group, told me that he got a GM valve assembly, which is the same thread pitch and diameter. I ended up going to AutoZone, getting the GM fitting, and we're about to see if this fits in here. But the whole reason that I am replacing this valve is because it shot out all the refrigerant. So that leads me to two possible concerns. One, the high side valve is bad, which is a possibility, but also that the orifice valve is clogged and it's causing a buildup of high pressure in the system. So in today's video, I'll be replacing the high side valve with the GM piece, the low side valve, as well as the orifice tube, and then I'm going to charge the system up and see if it holds air. Now, I did not release this to atmosphere. I did take it to work, evacuate the system correctly, following the EPA guidelines, and I am going to bring it to work after I replace all these parts and have them fill it up with the correct machine following the EPA guidelines. So I'll be right back as I get the correct valve, or the GM valve. Okay, so now you see the Ford component with its ball valve. This is a GM component. It is a Dorman part that I'm using, Dorman 800-955. I'm hoping to see that this will work. And you can see in here, unlike the ball valve, it does have a traditional schrader valve, and the thread pitch and diameter appear to be correct, with about the same amount of threading, similar O-ring, and I'm really hoping that this one uses a socket size. Seeing in here, it does fit in just like that, so that's good. It just screw right in there. So I'm gonna go get some PAG oil, lubricate this up with some PAG oil, find the correct socket that'll fit on here, and then put this in there. I'm gonna move over to the orifice side and the low side. The low side original Ford part uses a 12mm socket, so I'm not too mad about taking that out and swapping it out. This one just bugged the crap out of me because I did have to use a wrench, or the plier actually, this one right here, to take it out, because no socket or wrench fit on it. Okay, so much like the last one, I wasn't able to find a socket that would fit the new GM style one. I'm guessing this is some kind of weird thing, or some reason like prevent you from over tightening in there. I don't even know at this point, or maybe to prevent you from messing with the government regulated thing. But I'm going to use an adjustable wrench to do this. You can see right here I'm dipping it in PAG oil to lubricate that O-ring. Yeah, I'm using PAG 46, just like that. You see right there. O-ring is lubricated nice and well. I'm going to put it in there and spin it on in. Hold this guy up nice and tight. That seems pretty closed up to me. Now here's a moment of truth. Does the OEM Ford cap fit over this guy? And it does. Nice. Okay, so next is going to be the low side port, and I'm really hoping the orifice tube is in there. I'm not too sure. You can see the low side port is right next to the accumulator, and unlike the high side port that doesn't have a corresponding socket size, this guy's a 12, I think, maybe. Okay, maybe this is another situation where I need to use that plier. Damn it. Okay, so we definitely don't have an orifice tube in there. Probably should grab a new O-ring while I'm at it, because that thing looks pretty toasted. Okay, so when it comes to pulling the orifice tube out, the first thing you want to do is to remove that little guy right there. We use a screwdriver to pry it off. Okay, so excuse the bad audio and the mess. I'm actually at work, so I had to do this quickly because I need to take the car to Arizona to prep for EDC. So I ended up going to Harbor Freight to get a fuel line and AC quick disconnect tool. The size I used was a 5/8. What you want to do right here is pop this guy onto here, right? So once you get it on there, you want to push it up in between these little this little thing right here. Actually, let me show you real quick. So once you have your quick disconnect tool in here, you're going to want to pull it up in here and press it into here. So squeeze it together and push this actual ring into here. It'll release and then you can pull it right out. And I'm also going to be replacing these O-rings right in here. You can see they're pretty much past it as well. So I'm going to get on to doing that and go from there. Upon further inspection of me sitting on top of the truck, the orifice tube is in there and it's really far down. So I'm going to find a way to pull that out. I'm probably going to try to use like a J-hook pick or something and pull it out that way. Okay, there it is. I end up using my co-worker's really skinny needle nose plier. And there is my orifice tube. Damn, what is all this stuff in there? Huh. Oh, shit. Now here you can see the orifice tube itself. And just like the other O-ring, I'm going to lubricate it with PAG oil and then slide right in. Okay, so while I was editing the video, I noticed a couple things. One, I was a little rushed in terms of how I did the whole video. I was just trying to get this thing out as quick as I could. So, that being said, a couple things I want to cover. Yes, I did coat the high side port O-ring in PAG 46 oil. I also coated the low side port O-ring, which I got as a part of a kit from AutoZone. The orifice tube I also coated with PAG oil, and I did fill it up with the correct amount of refrigerant. Now it's been about a week. I drove the truck to Arizona and back, picked up my friend, brought him back for EDC. AC was perfect. Also brought back a ton of his shit. But yeah, that's here or there. Either way, AC worked great. And it's currently 109, well, not right now, but today it was 109 degrees and the AC worked great today as well. Overall, the truck's doing great. For a 35-year-old truck in the middle of the desert, it's doing exactly what I want it to. It's running and driving. Yep. Anyway, if you liked the video, hit like. If you want to see more videos like this, hit subscribe. And shout out to my little Snorlax. And also, guess who just bought his ticket for EDC 2025? Because EDC 2026, because EDC 2025 was amazing. Well, have a good one, guys. Do whatever else you do on the internet.